the Eminem Tracklist that released today, and there's a lot of people, a lot of different sides, a lot of mixed views on it. But I'm gonna give you my views on it, and I'm gonna go track by track, hoping to predict and hopefully get from the vibe of the title track. Then again, this is Eminem, and you really never expect what the title is. You know, like when I heard Square Dance, I immediately thought it was going to be a really gay song, and it turned out to be one of the better songs on the CD. So it could be the same thing here, where I think the song's going to be really good, but it really sucks, or so on. So anyway, let's go down the list. I'm going to put it on the bottom link so you can kind of follow. But the first track is Cold Wind Blows. Now, I know this is a Just Blaze track because I heard that Just Blaze has the first track on the whole record. So what I'm expecting from a Just Blaze track, not all of it, but from the opening, I'm expecting more of like a hype track, something like Forever or Drop the World type of flow for Eminem, and that a little more upbeat in terms of the beat instead of like definitely Drop the World was more rock and heavy. This is, I think, is going to be a little more upbeat, kind of like Forever. And I'm hoping it is, because I think that would be a great way to kind of introduce, not only introduce new people, but kind of reintroduce this new vibe that he's setting out for his old fans. I think that would be an awesome opening. But it could be a serious song, because it sounds like it could be just like one of those, I don't know, how the fucking cold wind, you don't know. You really don't know. But I'm hoping it's a hype track. And I don't know, Robbie, you have any guesses on what that might be?
Cold Wind Blow, that, like you said, that's by Just Blaze, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. It's a really good question. It could be a multitude of things, but I'd probably have to agree with you. It is most likely a hype track, obviously, since it's, the first song of the album. So, I'm not sure. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But my guess is most likely a hype album too, just judging from that title.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Now talking to myself, not only does it have Kobe, who I think Kobe, who is absolutely, I loved his hook on Fabulous's CD. I'ma Do It. I thought he had the best feature on the fucking album, and all he did was the hook. And that's an album with Jay-Z on it and other really big artists. So for me to say that, the guy has to produce good shit. Not only that, but I also heard that this track I heard a while back is there's a track where Eminem, this may be fake or not, but Eminem has 9 different kind of voices, and he kind of switches between them all on one track, kind of like My Darling times 7. So it would be really cool for this to be the track, because it makes sense. He's talking to himself. And I'm expecting this to either be, well, definitely serious, and I don't think it's going to be emotional. It's going to be more in the vein of like My Darling, where nobody else can hear what he hears. He's kind of talking to himself, and he's having these like thoughts of like all these different personas and everything. And I think it would be a really good track if they do something like that. But all I know for sure is that Kobe is definitely going to have a great hook. I'm just hoping that Eminem comes with that like crazy mentality, crazy like shady shit, I don't think it's going to be Eminem. I think it's more like Slim Shady type of song going on. I think. I'm hoping.
I think he's going to do the hook?
Well, I know Kobe is, because he doesn't rap. And Kobe has to be on the song, and he can't rap. So I know the chorus, though, is going to be great. I just hope Eminem has that like crazy shit going on. But
yeah, my opinion of it is probably the same thing. It's probably going to be a dark song. But again, just like all these songs could be different than what we turned out to be, but this sounds like it could be another dark song, or it could be the song talking about like maybe he's getting done with the accents, or maybe he's sort of saying, he stopped hearing the voices in his head from the drugs and shit. So that's what I think that track will be about.
Exactly. So, I mean, it could be anything, like we're saying. We're not predicting what it's going to be. We're just kind of predicting what we hope it's going to be. So for the next one, On Fire, I think this one goes without saying. It's definitely going to be a type of track, either upbeat, goofy. I don't think it's going to be goofy. I think it's going to be more of an upbeat, kind of like the Lloyd Banks song, or any other fucking rapper who has fire in the title. And, I think it's going to be an enjoyable track. I just don't think it's going to be one of the ones people are going to love. Maybe for the club or something. Again, I don't know if that one may be produced by Just Blaze or Dr. Dre. I know they each have a few tracks, but I do know Talking to Myself is by DJ Khaled, so I'm expecting that beat to be one of the better ones on the album. Whereas Dr. Dre, I love him, but every time Eminem and Dr. Dre get together these days, it's kind of like they're just goofing around, and we'll see what happens, but not really big into On Fire. I think it's just going to be okay.
It could be again another sort of spin-off of the. I don't know if you've heard that song. It's an old 80s song. It's called "She's on Fire."
Yeah.
But anyway, Wayne did that on his album. He did that on Rebirth, and it was basically a spin-off of that song. It sucked, in my opinion, but he probably won't do that, but it has the same name, so, I don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
But, I hope it's not that. I hope On Fire is actually a new song with new stuff. I hope all these songs aren't, spin-offs of, any other, 80s song, whatever.
Yeah.
That seems to be the sort of the, focus for rappers these days.
Yeah, I just, you mean like sampling, right? Like Kanye West says? Yeah, I hope it's not all that bullshit.
Exactly.
I mean, when he samples, and he usually only samples once on each album, it's usually one of the better songs like Beautiful or Till I Collapse. What's that one? The most famous one. Sing for the Moment. Stuff like that. When he singles that shit, it's like the best. So, I'm hoping he only does it on one or two tracks. I'll get to that later. I think I know which track he's going to sample. But let's move on to my second most anticipated song. Now,
are you serious? You?
I'll tell you why. Now, out of all the guest appearances, Pink is the only one I actually like out of all of them. Now, I'll get to the others later. Now, Pink, there's two sides of Pink. If you just watch her MTV music videos, you're going to get the same persona that you get from if you watch Eminem on MTV. You're going to get the Without Me and all that shit from Eminem. And from Pink, you're going to get the crazy punk, pop artist making fun of celebrities thing. But if you listen to her serious, down-to-earth songs, like she's been through drug problems before and all that,
yeah.
I think we're going to get, I'm not saying another Stan, I just think we're going to get on that level where it's going to be a song that's that deep and that dark and just the storytelling. I'm hoping, I think that's going to be like one of my favorite songs on the album. And I really like Pink's voice. So out of all of them, that's my second most anticipated song. I think it's just going to blow me away once we hear it.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there because I've been listening to Pink for a long time. A really long time, actually, and I've heard her ever since she was old, like her first album, So, I would definitely say that will probably be one of the strongest and one of the most emotional songs of the album.
Yeah.
Because, Pink, I think she is a very talented artist, and like you said, she's been through a lot of problems herself. So I think her and them, can relate to each other, and I think that's going to be a very more serious song, and I think she's going to bring a really hot chorus.
Yeah, plus, I mean, the title, Won't Back Down, it's got to be serious. Yeah. We just don't know if it's going to be more serious, like, fuck you, we won't back down, or more like, serious, like, we'll never back down type of vibe. Yeah. We'll have to see, but either way, it's definitely going to be one of the best. I'm thinking, there's no way it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be one of the best songs that Eminem and Pink will ever make, and that is probably the most surprising. Whoever, I've never thought they would be on the same track. That is probably the biggest combination.
That is probably the biggest surprise to me as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Eminem really never made fun of Pink. Like, he mentioned her. So I guess it's kind of cool that they never really fought. And I think that's why they're on, the track together. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a great track. Okay, hold on one second.